politicians who's winked out on this is United Future Leader Peter Dunn. But there are people in his ranks who are better than that. One of them, former MP Larry Baldock, whom I introduce to you now. Good afternoon, everybody. Have you signed the petition? Alan Clark and Sue Bradford are saying that we've got it all wrong. We're uninformed, we don't know what the real issue is, and that the polls have it wrong. Well, there's a poll we want to have. It's called a referendum, so that every New Zealander can have their say. So make sure you've signed the petition, and make sure you've had your neighbours and your workmates had that opportunity as well. Because no matter what they do in there next week, we are going to have our say in New Zealand. The Prime Minister is quoted this morning in the Herald as saying, "I cannot see how those who are demanding the right to be able to track and beat children can possibly then turn around and confess concern about what is happening to our children."
Nobody's voting that right.
I find that to be a deplorable statement by the Prime Minister of our country. My wife and I raised 3 children and we never thrashed our children. We lovingly disciplined them. In fact, we also raised one foster child that SIFs had and they didn't know what to do about, and she was more abused in the care of SIFs than she ever was in our to more children going into the care of that organisation, and it must not happen. We have a message for the Prime Minister today. You were elected to listen to the people of New Zealand, not the bureaucrats of the United Nations in Brussels. Listen to us. Listen to the people of New Zealand. You can disobey the United Nations when it suits you because you've disassociated from that wonderful document, the Doha Declaration on Families, and now you're trying to tell us you have to obey UNROC. It's not true. You do not have to sign this thing into law. You need to listen to the people of New Zealand, or we will have a referendum and you will hear it loud and clear. 85% of New Zealanders do not want this law passed. Thank you very much for coming this afternoon. Keep up the good work, and remember, go out and get that petition signed. We want to stop this bill, but we do care about the children that are being abused in this country, and we need that second petition to make this government do sensible things for them. Thank you very much. Thank you, Larry. Here now is the National MP who took Sue Bradford at her word when she said the law allows unreasonable force. He said, all right, Sue, let's define what reasonable force is and go with that. Lo and behold, she didn't want to know. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Chester Burrows. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here today. And I've just got to comment on the fact that this group of people, of concerned citizens who have marched here today, are fully representative of this debate. You've got a whole wide range of people who are working against the move to repeal Section 59. They represent all areas of society, and you've got a small, insignificant, but nonetheless vocal group supporting the Labour Party and the Green Party who are actively working against it. Helen Clark is wanting to turn a blind eye to those 85% of parents whose children are never in danger, because when they discipline their children, they are loving, they are caring, and they have those children's best interests at heart. For Helen Clark to come out today and say that this group of people here in front of me and 85% of New Zealanders want to thrash and bash their children is a complete insult to every last one. behind Section 59 is this. Section 59 recognises that parenting is a tough job, that parents are sometimes under stress, and Section 59 cuts parents some slack. This government wants to do away with that. This government does not represent you as parents, and I urge you to think about that next election. This government wants to hand over the lawmaking to social agencies like the police and like SIFs. And they are saying to us, no, don't give it away. You're the lawmakers. You do the job. We implement the policy. But Sue Bradford and Helen Clark are saying, no, we'll just hand over that responsibility. We won't make a law around this that protects parents, and we'll rely on these agencies just to do the job. Well, government policy can change, and that can affect the lives of people. If you look at the police family violence policy, what it says is this. In a situation of domestic violence, when the police attend, if they find an offence has been committed, they will prosecute. That prosecution should take place by way of arrest, and the abuser, as they are called, should be removed from the household and spend the night themselves. That is the police family violence policy as it stands at the moment. That is what you need to be afraid of. Not only that, you have to rest assured that the police will do a good job of investigation, and they will ensure that children are safe while they do that. And what that means to them and what that means to SIFs is, and the only thing I must say, the only thing we can align this with is the way that police investigate child abuse, which I do not believe is smacking for one moment, neither do you. But they are mandated to make a safe situation for that child in the course of that investigation. So they turn up to the house, and if Dad has apparently assaulted this child, they will take Dad away from the house. Now, if Mum supports Dad, they will leave Dad there and take the child away, and there is nothing surer than that. And that is what we're worried about.
Stop using our police force as the Gestapo.
This afternoon, we will move on to this debate.
We pay them.
We will move on to this debate, and we will be representing the 85% of New Zealanders who are quite rightfully afraid of where this legislation is taking us as parents and where it will see our country 10 or 15 years down the track. Thank you everybody for being here today. We appreciate your support. Thanks again. The lady over here was quite right, you know. The police will become the Gestapo if this bill goes through, and New Zealand will become a nation of snitches. Is that what you want?